functions of A levels, he added the transformation. And in a transformation, we have translation and reflection, and stretching. These are the three types of transformations are in the syllabus of A levels. Now, first of all, we will discuss the translation. Before discussing this transformation, please keeping in mind, he will not asking you about the please reflect this triangle or stretch the triangle or translate this triangle. But he gave you like a function f of x equals to x square plus 3x. If a graph is given to you, it's fine. If it is not given, you can find the 2 points on the graph. One is the origin and the other one is 3, 0 and 3. You can find another point by putting the value of x when x equals to 4. 4 4s are 16, 12. So you may find this point also by putting the value by when x is 4, y is 16 plus 12, 28. It is 4 comma 28. So we will actually in O levels, when a triangle is reflected in x-axis, let us suppose, so this point is 1, 2, 2, 3 and 4. This triangle reflected to them. Actually, we reflect a point, then mark another point. It is an object and it is an image. यही तरतीब हमने यहाँ पे रखनी है. The sequence will be the same in A levels also. We have the curves in A levels, not the triangles. तो इनको हम on the curves we will find 1 or 2 points, or the points will be given to you. इनको translate कर दीजिए, reflect or stretch this curve, reflect this curve or translate this curve. Now, first of all, we will start it with that translation. What is translation? Actually, translation is move this triangle or move this point. Please translate this point. We will move this point on the x-axis and on the y-axis. The new point will be this. It means that जितने point इस तरफ move हुआ है और जितने upward move हुआ है, that will be your translation. T equals to 1 and 2 or 1 move हुआ है. So 2 on x-axis and 1 on y-axis. So translation will be equal to 2 comma 1. It is the translation. The A point, यहाँ से point P move to P dash. तो हमने इसको मूव किया x-axis के along and then on y-axis. 2 on x-axis and 1 on y-axis. It is the translation. Now we will start it with the general form of translation. General form is, he will give you f of x. Then, if it is f of x plus 1, x plus a, general form, x plus a, it means that when something is added in x, it is added in x. It means it is moved. It will be moved. It it will be moved minus a along x axis. It will be moved along x axis. How many times? A times. What is a? A constant number will be given to you. A constant number will be given to you, like he said f of x plus 2 plus 2. It means that if this curve is given to you and the 2 points also given 3, 7, and he said x plus 2. Now subtract 2 in the x coordinate. This 3, 7, 3 minus 2, 7. This point become 1, 7. Only subtract from the x coordinate. Y coordinate will remain same. Y coordinate will remain same. Minus x along x axis. If a is added in x, and if a is added in the whole function f of x, it means that it will be moved, it will be moved a along y axis. For example, if it is 3 plus f of x, it means that 3 will be added in y coordinate. Now, what will be the, after the translation, the coordinates of this curve? 3, 10. 3 will be added in y-axis. And now the third one. Let us suppose we have 2 or 3 points on the curve. And he said, please translate this curve. One is the other point, it is -3, and again a point -4, 3. -4, 2. So, if we said, okay, please translate this, f of x 3 plus f of x, example number 2, 3 plus f of x applied to the given curve. Please apply this. Add 3 in y coordinate. Now -4, 5, and the second point become 3, 7, 3, 10. 3 will be added in the y coordinate. Now -3. -3, add 3 in this. The coordinates are 0, comma minus 3. So it becomes 0, 0, 0, 0. If we said please sketch the curve again, so minus 4 or y5, to move 3, in the upward direction in the y-axis, along the y-axis. Move this curve along the y-axis in the upward direction. So then the curve will be same. Like this. Yes, 3 upward, and then shift it to this point. 3, comma 10, and minus 4, comma 5, and this point become 0, 0, 0, 0. It is the translated diagram of this curve. Now translation is adding. If a is added in x, then it will be subtracted. Now we will apply the same on that graph. He said, please translate this graph. Example number 2. It is example number 1. Example number 2 is f of x plus 4. So we will move, it is positive 4, to move to that side. If it is minus 4, then we will move the curve on the positive direction, in the positive direction. Now it is plus 4, we will move this curve in the negative direction. Then please minus 4 2. Now only add and subtract in the x coordinate. Please do not use this one. Add 4 in that. It is positive minus 4 minus 8, comma 2. First point. 3 minus 4. 3 minus 4, it become minus 1, comma 7. Minus 1, comma 7. And 0, comma minus 3. It become minus 4, comma minus 3. Minus 4, comma minus 3. Now move this curve. It will be drawn like this. Minus 8, comma 2. Minus 1, comma 7. Remain same. Minus 1, comma 7. Remain same. Minus 1, comma 7. And this point become minus 4, comma minus 3, and this point become minus 8, comma 2. So the curve will be moved to this side. Okay, it is the first one, translation. Number 1, it will be added in x, then we will subtract. It will be moved minus a along x-axis, or subtract from x coordinate. Subtract a from x coordinate. In this case, when a is added in f of x, it will be moved a along y-axis, or that is much important, okay, we will add a in y coordinate. It is the translation. Now reflection. In a reflection, a sign, negative sign will be multiplied. If the negative sign is multiplied to the function, with the whole of the function, then change the sign of, it means that it is a reflection in x-axis, reflection in x-axis. And when the reflection is in x-axis, it means that if y coordinate, change the sign of, what you have to do, change the sign of y coordinate. So it means that 3, 2. If we said please reflect this in the x-axis, change the sign of y coordinate, 3 comma minus 2. And if we said f of minus x, it means that it is a reflection in y-axis. What you have to do, change the sign of x coordinate. X coordinate 5 comma minus 7. Now change the sign of x coordinate. After the reflection in y-axis, it becomes minus 5 comma minus 7. Reflection in y-axis. So change the sign of x coordinate. For example, the same curve, a little bit change, 1 comma minus 3. That point is 5 comma 7, and it is minus 4 comma 7. That had 5. Now, if we said f of x become f of minus x. So minus x, it means that it is a reflection in y-axis, and we will multiply the sign in y-axis. So that point will be moved onto this side, and this point will be moved onto this side. This point is also moved onto that side. So if it is a reflection in y-axis, yes, it is a reflection in y-axis, change the signs of x coordinate. So minus 4 comma 5 become change the sign of x coordinate. It become 4 comma 5. And the point 1 minus 3. When this point reflected in y, it moved to that. minus 1 comma minus 3, and the last point 5 7. 5 7 when reflected in y-axis, change the sign of x coordinate minus 5 comma 7. So mark this point. You can change the curve to this side, this one to this side, with the help of red. So it is the reflection of this curve in y-axis. When he said number 1, translation. In translation, what he said, add f of x plus a. So subtract a, subtract a from x coordinate. We said a plus f of x, then add a in y coordinate. If he uses the negative sign minus f of x, it means that it is the reflection in x-axis. Change the sign of, it is the important one. When it is minus f of x, change the sign of y coordinate. And if it is f of minus x, it is reflection in y-axis, so then change the sign of x coordinate. It is the sign change, it is the addition and subtraction. Subtract a from x coordinate, add a in y coordinate. Okay? Now the last one after reflection is stretching. Stretching. Now we will discuss the stretching. So first of all, in translation we added and subtracted a f x plus a and a plus f of x. In a reflection, we change the sign f of x minus and f of minus x. Change the sign of the whole function and change the sign of x. In this, subtract a from x, it is x plus a, but we will subtract a from x coordinate, and it is a plus f of x. We will add a in y coordinate. So it is addition, it is the change of sign, and in stretching we will multiply a f of x and f e x. If it is multiplied with x, then we will divide the x coordinate. We will divide the x coordinate by a, and if it is multiplied with the whole function f of x, then we will multiply the y coordinate of a point y coordinate. Then we will multiply the y coordinate with a. And for this, it is stretching along y-axis and it is stretching along x-axis. Stretching along x-axis. And it is stretching along y. So for a graph, on a graph, if he gives you the point on a curve, if it is a graph 5, 7 and the point -3, 6 and this point is 1, -1. If we said this example number 1, when he said it is 2f of x, so multiply the y coordinate, whereas x coordinate will remain same, only multiply with the y coordinate. So 5, 7 become 5, 14 and 1 -1 will become 1 -2. -2, it will move down. This will move down, it will move up. 5, 14, double, move up to this side. It will be move up. It will move up, it will move down, and it will move again up. तो स्ट्रेच हो गया, ये अपवर्ड स्ट्रेच और ये डाउनवर्ड स्ट्रेच, ये स्ट्रेचिंग along x-axis, along y-axis. It is stretching along y-axis. ये stretching. So, and -3, 6. 6 2s are 12. -3 and 12. It will move to 12 and it will move to 14. Stretch downward and then upward. Stretching along y-axis. Now in example number 2. Example 2. We said f of 2x. Please divide f of x, transform to f of 2x. So please divide the x coordinate. Divide the x coordinate by 2. 5, 7 become 5 by 2. 5 by 2, 7. And 1 minus 1 become 1 by 2, minus 1, and minus 3, 6. It becomes minus 3 by 2, comma 6. X coordinate. X coordinate will move to this side. It will move 5 by 2. It is 5. It is 5. Move to 5 by 2. हाफ हो जाएगा इस तरह से. And 1 by 2. It is 1 by 2. वो 1 ही रहेगा, minus 1 ही रहेगा. Y coordinate नहीं change होगा. ये close हो गया है. Y coordinate नहीं change होगा. Y coordinate will remain same. But ये यहाँ पे close हो गया, ये stretch हो के squeeze हो गया. It is the stretching along x-axis. If it is, then we will, if it is f of x over 2, then we will multiply all the x coordinate by 2. Then it will stretch like this along the x-axis. This will move to that side, this will move to this side. So all the points, x coordinates will be multiplied by 2. This 5, 7 become 10, comma 7. This 1, comma minus 2 become 2, comma minus 1. And minus 6, comma 6. These are the new points for this transformation. So these are the three transformations: translation, reflection, and stretching. It is the stretching. In stretching, in short, it is just a multiplication and division. If a is multiplied with the function, then we will multiply it with the y coordinate. And if it is multiplied with the x, then we will divide the x coordinate by a. It is the stretching.